In the world of modern MMA, being the best fighter is no longer enough. The game has changed. A fighter can have a perfect record, a championship belt, and still be less famous and make less money than a rival with half their skill, but twice the social media following. The path to stardom and financial freedom is no longer a straight line paved with victories. It's a complex maze of brand building, contract negotiations, and strategic call-outs. What a fighter needs right now is not just a better jab or a tighter guillotine. They need a business plan. From the undisputed champion holding a division hostage to the rising star with a massive online following, every fighter in the UFC is missing a critical piece of the puzzle. This is what they need to know and what they need to do right now to secure their future in a sport that is more ruthless outside the cage than it is inside. The O'Malley Blueprint, brand over belt. Sean O'Malley represents the new paradigm of MMA stardom, a fighter who understood that in the 21st century, a brand is more valuable than a belt. For years, O'Malley cultivated a massive following through his Twitch streams, his colorful personality, and his highlight reel knockouts. He built a direct connection with his audience that was independent of the UFC's promotional machine. By the time he fought for the title, he was already a bigger star than the champion he was facing. He proved that you can become a superstar first and a champion second. But now that he has the belt, his needs have changed. The very thing that made him a star, his focus on brand and entertainment, is now the source of his biggest challenge. He is seen by many hardcore fans as a YouTuber champion, a product of hype rather than pure skill. What O'Malley needs right now is not another viral moment, it is legitimacy. He needs to defend his title against the most dangerous and deserving contender in his division, Merab Dvalishvili, a relentless wrestling machine who represents everything O'Malley is not. By facing and defeating the toughest stylistic matchup, O'Malley can silence the doubters and prove that his championship is not just a prop for his brand, but the mark of the best fighter in the world. The Topuria problem, the untapped market. Ilia Topuria's knockout of Alexander Volkanovski was more than just a title win. It was a potential earthquake for the UFC's business model. Topuria is the first Spanish champion in UFC history, a charismatic, undefeated fighter who has captured the imagination of an entire nation and a continent. He is the key to unlocking the massive, untapped market of Western Europe. The UFC has successfully expanded into the UK, Australia, and the Middle East, but Spain and its neighboring countries have remained a blind spot. Topuria is the solution. However, his stardom is currently a regional phenomenon. What Topuria needs right now is not just another title defense. He needs a coronation. He needs the UFC to commit to a stadium show in Spain, at a legendary venue like the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium in Madrid. This would be the European equivalent of the UFC's massive shows in Brazil or Mexico. It would solidify Topuria as a national hero, create a new generation of Spanish MMA fans, and open up a lucrative new revenue stream for the company. A win in front of 80,000 of his countrymen would do more for his legacy and the sport's growth than any victory in Las Vegas ever could. His need is market activation, and the clock is ticking. The Pereira paradox, the unwilling superstar. Alex Pereira is a promoter's dream and nightmare rolled into one. He is a two-division champion, a former kickboxing legend, and possesses a terrifying aura of stoic violence. His knockout power is the stuff of legend. He has all the ingredients of a global superstar, except for one: he refuses to play the game. Pereira is a man of few words. He does not engage in trash talk. He does not create drama on social media, and he seems completely uninterested in the promotional side of the sport. As a result, despite his incredible accomplishments, he is not a massive pay-per-view draw on his own. He is a terrifying fighter, but not a compelling personality for the casual fan. What Pereira needs right now is a promotional foil. He needs a rival who can do the talking for him, a charismatic opponent who can build the narrative and sell the fight. His greatest successes came against Israel Adesanya, a master promoter who built their rivalry into a global spectacle. Without a dance partner, Pereira is just a great fighter. He needs a new Adesanya. This could be a move to heavyweight to challenge a talker like Tom Aspinall. or a new rival at light heavyweight who is willing to engage in the war of words that Pereira avoids. His need is a narrative, and he can't build it alone. The Jon Jones conundrum: legacy versus reality. Jon Jones is arguably the greatest mixed martial artist of all time, but his current reign as heavyweight champion has become a source of frustration for fans and fighters alike. After winning the vacant title, Jones has focused exclusively on a legacy fight against Stipe Miocic, a former champion who is now in his 40s and has not fought in years. While this fight has historical significance, it has put the entire heavyweight division on hold. An interim champion, Tom Aspinall, has been crowned in his absence, creating a confusing and unsatisfying situation. Jones is operating on his own timeline, focused on his place in history rather than the current state of his division. What Jon Jones needs right now is not another name for his resume. It is present-day validation. He needs to prove that he is the best heavyweight in the world right now, not just the greatest of all time. This means facing the interim champion, Tom Aspinall, and unifying the belts. A win over an aging Miocic proves little, but a win over the young, dangerous, and legitimate interim champion would solidify his claim as the undisputed king of the division. By holding out for the Miocic fight, Jones risks being seen as a champion who is avoiding the toughest challenges of his era. His need is to engage with the present, not just the past. The Islam Makhachev challenge: escaping the shadow. Islam Makhachev is currently the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC, a dominant champion with a suffocating grappling style that seems unbeatable. He has successfully defended his title and is building his own legacy. However, he still faces one challenge that he cannot seem to overcome: the shadow of his mentor, Khabib Nurmagomedov. For many fans, Makhachev is still seen as Khabib 2.0, a continuation of the Dagestani dominance, rather than a unique champion in his own right. His style is similar, his path has been similar, and his corner is still filled with the same faces. While he has achieved incredible success, he has not yet had his own defining, legacy-making moment that separates him from Khabib. What Makhachev needs right now is an independent identity. He needs to do something that Khabib never did. The clearest path to this is to move up in weight and challenge for a second belt. A fight against the welterweight champion, whether it's Leon Edwards or Belal Muhammad, would be a massive event. If he were to become a two-division champion, he would accomplish something that even his legendary mentor did not. It would be the ultimate statement, a moment that would finally allow him to step out of Khabib's shadow and be recognized as a singular force in the history of the sport. The new fighter's currency: attention. For every fighter watching these champions navigate their careers, the lesson is clear. The currency of modern MMA is no longer just wins and losses. It is attention. A fighter needs to build their own brand, cultivate their own audience, and understand their own value. This means being active on social media, creating content, and having a point of view. It means understanding the business of the sport and knowing when to negotiate for a better contract or a bigger fight. The UFC has created a system where the most valuable fighters are not always the best. They are the ones who command the most attention. Every fighter needs to understand this reality. They need to build their leverage outside the cage so they can get what they deserve inside it. The fighters who understand this will thrive in the new landscape of MMA. The ones who don't will be left behind, no matter how many fights they win.